What is up, YouTubers and lovers of budget cars and bikes? Welcome back to the channel and a new video on something that I have considered and wanted to at least have a go on for many years. If you're a biker of a certain age, you'll know all about these bikes, and it's something that although I find them hard to ride, this kind of style of bike, I have to admit, at my age, because I don't really do sports bikes anymore. But I do more sports, sports tourers and, flat bike conversions and sit-up bikes. That kind of thing is more prevalent to my kind of age group, I should think, because my back and my neck and my wrists won't take the strain anymore. But I just had to. This came up on Gumtree around about 5 weeks ago, something like that. And I tried to negotiate with the guy to buy it then. It fell through. I got back in touch with him when the price dropped slightly, and we did a deal. Now, what this is it's not going to be my normal type of video. It's going to be possibly a 2 or 3 part kind of series video where you guys decide what happens. I mean, it could end up just being a 2 video kind of series, because you could just say, Dan, do it this way, don't do it the other way. And obviously there'll be no 3rd video. But essentially what's going to happen is I'm going to ask you guys, and in fact I'm asking you right now, what you think we should do with this bike, I should do with this bike. It came into me and I knew it had a few scuffs and a little bit of paint issues. I mean, bearing in mind this is a 2000, so it's 21 years old now. The Honda CBR 1100 Super Blackbird XX. Yes, bit of a mouthful. If you know anything about these bikes, you'll know all the specs already, but I will talk you through that because I haven't actually had a chance to ride this bike yet. It arrived on the back of the truck and it's been sitting here waiting for me to decide what to do with it, and I've decided, because I can't decide, you guys are going to decide for me in that respect. Now, it is, as I said, a bit of a project bike. You can see straight away something that I didn't notice and was a bit naughty of the seller. That right-hand fairing there is a completely different blue to the rest of the bike, which is such a shame. And up here in the nose cone, as you can see, it's got a crack here, it's got a big scuff here, another big scuff all the way down here, it's got a scuff over here, it's got this bit missing out of the nose cone here. The front mudguard doesn't look too bad, but there's another great big scratch along here, which is quite deep. You can feel it with your fingernail. That engine case there is a little bit moody. Up here, I think they've tried to repair something up here, because there's this kind of weird thing going on here. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but there's a weird kind of crack here, and I think they've just put this blue tape on to kind of hold all this together, which kind of works, I guess. Grab handle's fine. The rest of this is fine, apart from there's some paint kind of rubbing going on here as well. But bear in mind, this is a 21-year-old bike, and I knew it wasn't going to be showroom. The exhausts, I think, are a little bit rusty and maybe a couple of holes, purely because I think I can hear some exhaust blowing here and there. It wasn't picked up in the MOT. It does actually have an MOT until February of 2022, and we're in now almost June, so there's plenty of MOT left. But it has been sitting outside, as you can see. The banjo bolts, the rear caliper bolts, even the pins for the brake pads, everything back here is quite rusty. These wheels, well, I don't know if we can, yeah, as you can see there, that's a different colour underneath. They have just literally never been cleaned by the looks of things. The same goes for the front as well. Really disgustingly dirty. A lot of rust going on outside here. A lot of pitting going on these forks here as well. That can all be brought back, of course, if you look at my videos of the GSX 1400 and other bikes like that, where you do get pitting issues. I can basically get all this, get this front mudguard off and sand back all that, maybe take the calipers off and service those, sand back these fork legs, polish them back up again, and bring those back to life. I can get my Dremel with the rust removal kind of bit on it to do these banjo bolts, or maybe even replace the lines. I might put stainless steel hoses on there. I don't know, if I'm honest. The swinging arm's looking a little bit sorry for itself. The heel plate, the whole bike looks a little bit sorry for itself, truth be told. And this rim hugger here is much further up this side, and it's actually integrated into the chain guard. If you look at this side, it's completely different. It's all arse about it, so I don't know what's going on with that. Now the thing is, I paid I mean, I may as well tell you the sums now. I paid a princely sum of £1,700 for this bike. Now that was not delivered, so it owes me £1,820, I believe, somewhere along those lines. And I think that's a decent price, to be honest, but because of this fairing here, this one over here, and the other scuffs and bits and bobs and that bit over there, I got the seller to refund me 200 quid, so it actually stands me in now at about 1,600 quid for the bike, including delivery. So you got to admit that's pretty good. I mean, I forgot to tell you, it's done just over 28,000 miles, 28,100 and something, so, you know, well below 30,000 miles. There's also a couple of scuffs, and it looks like possibly even up here on this cover, which I don't know whether you can replace just the cover or whether you have to respray it or whatever. Anyway, I digress, back to where we were. Yeah, so it owes me about 1,600 quid so far. I reckon a wash and a polish, literally get those wheels up, get the rust looking better, polish up those front forks. I can sell it as it is for an asking price of 19,995, probably take 1850, make a couple of hundred quid and walk away, having had the bike, ridden it, experienced it, etc, etc. Or I could go balls out. I could get one of those monster fairing kits that you can find from China. They're about 500 quid. It includes all of this. It includes the front mudguard, the rear seat fairing here. It includes a cover for the tank as well, that kind of slips over. All in this colour, or you can order any colour you like. I could go down that road. That would mean that the bike would owe me just over 2 grand. But I think then, if I do all the cosmetic works on the metalwork of the bike and have the brand new fairing, so the bike effectively looks brand new, I reckon it's a 2.5 to 3 grand bike. I think you could put this up at 27,995, take 26. So you'd make around about, well, you'd probably make double what you would by just selling it on, but it'd be a lot of work. But it'd be fun. I think it'd be a really good project, and I think it'd be a lot of content for the channel as well. But I want you guys to decide. I want you to say to me, basically, oh, let me just got that. I want you to decide whether this is worth doing. Is it worth spending the extra 500 quid and a week or so just manually getting this bike up together? Or should I just cut my losses, keep it for a week or two, ride it around and then sell it because summer's here? I think most of you are going to agree that it's worth taking the time to put a new fairing on this and getting it looking absolutely stunning again, because it is an iconic bike. It is a beautiful, beautiful machine. The engine runs okay. I think, as I said, the exhaust is blowing somewhere from the downpipes. Once I get these fairings off, obviously it'll all become quite apparent. There's a slight hunting issue, which again I think is probably because it's been sat outside with petrol in it and it's not been used for months. And I think it's possibly stale petrol, or it needs a new effort. It needs a bloody good going over. But, as I said, I could make a couple of hundred quid, experience the bike, sell it on to somebody else, let them do the work. Or I could get the fairing kit from Monster Fairings in China and redo the entire bike. But I want you guys to decide. What do you think I should do? Would you bother taking the time to do this? Do you think I should? Do you think it'd be worth it financially? Do you want to see that kind of content? Do you want to see me rip all... I mean, I can do a time-lapse video taking all these fairings off, and then the monster video, the monster fairings rather, when they arrive, I can do an unboxing and show another time-lapse video of me putting it all on, and then we'll have a last video, as it were, with a proper review of the bike after having owned it and ridden it with all the new parts, and see where we are. You know, it'll be 2 or 3 videos in the series, as it were. So you decide. Drop it down in the comments what you think I should do. Give the video a like if you would, guys. That always helps the algorithms for old YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed and you want to see what happens to this bike, then consider subscribing. There's a link obviously all over the place to subscribe to the channel. If you like this kind of stuff, obviously we do a video every 3 or 4 weeks, cars and bikes. Look back through the old catalogue of videos. But this is something, as I said, slightly different, because this is going to be a you decide kind of thing. You know, what do we do with it? If you all turn around and say, look, Dan, just sell it on, you know, have a bit of fun on it, then sell it on midsummer and get done and rid of it, don't bother because it's not worth it, I'll do that. I will take your advice. But if most of you, as I reckon you will, if most of you turn around and say, look, Dan, get the fairing, make this bike beautiful again, and then do a review at the end to show everybody what you've done, then I'll do that. I'll spend the money. You know, that's what it's all about. It's all content for you guys. Anyway, as I said, comment below. What do you think I should do? If you haven't subscribed and you want to see what happens, do that. Give the video a like as well, if you would. That really, really helps. And I'll wait and see, and you'll all wait and see what we do with this bad girl. CBR 1100 Super Blackbird XX Project Bike. You decide, guys. Cheers.